Hi everyone, Kusmal Designs here, and as promised, I said I was going to do a quick video about my M4 models, and here it is. Also, I'm going to answer a few questions, so this is kind of a year-end wrap-up about some of the questions that have been asked on, all the other videos, so I'm going to answer a few of those here today as well. So, basically, why I, build all Tamiya M4s is for continuity of parts fitting, right? Because we are building, a lot of the M4 tanks, is I know, parts from that model right there, like the M4A3, will fit on, the M4. So it just makes it a lot easier for, knowing that the parts will fit because I'm, fairly confident that, Tamiya's molds aren't going to change all that much, right? So if I'm, going to put a Tamiya turret on an academy hull, yeah, there might be a lot of messing around. So it just makes it a lot easier. And dealing with aftermarket parts too, I don't want to be ordering tons of different parts for different tanks and such. So it just chances of things going wrong increase. So I do obviously employ a lot of aftermarket parts. As you know, we're building that one right there. There's obviously, as you can tell right off the bat, there's some aftermarket parts on it. So it makes it a lot easier for ordering aftermarket parts as well. So that's the reasoning behind that. And I do enjoy Tamiya's products, right? So, there we go. Now, obviously, these aren't all of Tamiya's, lineups for Shermans. There's obviously a few out there that I don't have. And over time that, Tamiya has done their Shermans, their box art and such has changed a lot. But they did come out with a Sherman British Firefly. I don't have that one. Definitely would like to get my hands on that, but it's a bit pricey. And I did order the Red Army Sherman, but it hasn't come in, and I definitely wanted to get this video out just before the holidays. So anyway, that explains that. Now, why I build the way I build is because I just don't want to open up that one, for instance, the M1 Super Sherman, point a camera at it and build it out of the box and say, there you go. This is how we build the M1 Super Sherman, because you could have done that, right? Anyone could do that. And I want to offer you something different. So when I bought that model right there, I knew right off the bat I wanted to do something different, right? And that's why we're building that. We're building the M4A1 76W, right? Now, I could have easily taken that cupola from this tank right here. I could have easily taken that off and threw it there, right? But I actually happen to have this as an aftermarket part already in stock. So I put it on here. Now, obviously, if you followed my videos, I've cut the hole for that. But I could have actually had this turret from one of my other models and slapped it on here. But I want to offer you guys something that a model company has never offered you. I want to be able to show you guys how to take something and make it something completely different, yet being historically accurate, or at least more accurate. And that's one thing I found when building models over 30 years. It opens so many doors, right? You become a lot smarter, a lot more worldly when you do this, right? Because you start watching documentaries, you start talking to people, you meet veterans, you start doing things more. I've been lucky enough to meet, some of the cast of Pirates of the Caribbean. I've met some of the cast of Star Trek. The doors open, right? I've built for museums. I've built for private collectors. I wish I could name some, but they have to they remain private. But, and just the general public, so it's amazing what will happen when you start projects like this, right? Because people want something different. And it's great because you become smarter when you start doing things a little bit more different than what's inside the box, right? You actually have to think outside the box. I guess that's the correct term. So a general question I get asked a lot is, what's the best model to build? Well, I can't answer that right? And that sounds like, that's such a generic answer. Well, no, you got to build what interests you, because otherwise you'll lose interest, right? And 9 times out of 10, you build something that you've seen in a movie, right? And when it comes to like a tank model, especially the M4, Fury comes right to mind. And a lot of companies, try to capitalize on the Fury movie. And I never fell into, that category, just because it's been done, right? And I can't tell you, how good those models are, because I don't own them. But, whatever. I'm just going to leave it at that. I like to do my own thing. As we built our own Easy 8 with our own name and did our own thing. And I'm happy with the result. That's actually my first Sherman tank that I've ever built. So another question is, where do you get your figures? Because someone walked into the hobby store, couldn't find the figures. Now, I got those from, B&A Model World. Yeah, I know that sounds like commercial, but it's not. Those you can't find at a hobby store, at least not here in Canada. I had to order those, right? Because I don't want to build just what's out of a box. But I understand that a lot of people want to walk into a hobby store, buy everything in one shot, and go home. So this is going to be your best bet, right? If you can find these in a hobby store, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to have just the big name, the big brand name stuff. So there you go. That's going to be your best bet. Now, I bought this set here because I wanted, the extras, right? I wanted the grease gun, the binoculars, for this set right here. I wanted him to hold the grease gun and the binoculars up there. But, I'll eventually, use this stuff right here. So, you walk, and this happens to be, they're using a Sherman tank for their, their idea, I guess. So, there you go. So, if you're building an M4, there you go. Grab that and pick a tank that interests you. In this case, I'm using M4s. One of these, right here would be decent, because you get some soldiers with these ones. See, I have a lot of ideas for these tanks, right? Because I want to build like a United States Marine Corps one, which with the HVSS suspension. So I want to, take, one of these guns, like I think the 105, and throw it on that, right? But that's not offered. So you're going to have to take, parts. So I know the Tamiya parts will fit. So just an idea right there. So when I go down for Christmas, I got supplies and paints and all sorts of things on hold waiting for me, so that way I can get going on the Missouri build again and the Yamato build again. So that's going to be great. And I'm excited to get the Yamato and the Missouri build on the go again. Been talking to veterans from the Missouri, which is absolutely fantastic. And I'm excited to get that on the go again, make that model as correct as I can possibly get it. The B-17 build as well. I'm doing a book on that. I've been hired to do a book on how to build that correctly. So that's why that one's been slowed up a bit. Trying to get that, just perfect, at least as perfect as I can on how to, build that one, at least the way I'm building it. So, a lot of those builds, yeah, I know it's been a bit slow. Luckily, I'm not on any kind of timeline. I'm on my own for that. As far as another question that had been asked is where to purchase my builds. I don't want to go on eBay. That's not the platform for me to put my work up. I've been really procrastinating on a website. I'm really worried about the fraud aspect of things. Obviously not on my part, but I really want to make sure that both parties are secure, right? So I guess that's my biggest thing. Most of my connections that I have and the business that I've been, dealing with, it's been secure, right? So I just want to make sure that everything is secure. I guess that's my biggest concern, right? And most of my work that goes places is 9 times out of 10 hand delivered, because usually they want to meet me and things like that. So shipping is obviously an issue and things like that. So because I mean, these are models, right? They're not just something that can be, shipped. I mean, a multitude of things can go wrong in the mail. But anyhow, I hope that answered a few questions and things like that. So this will be the last video until after Christmas. So I'm very excited for the new year, and I would like to thank everybody that has supported me and the channel. And I wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I look forward to everything for the new year. And yeah, so thanks so much for supporting the channel, and please like, share, and subscribe as normal. Thanks guys, and have a good one.